What up, world? This your boy, DJ Sugar Bear, back in the house, on the ones and twos. And man, can you feel that energy? That's what we do here on the Drama Network. This is where new school YouTube and old school soap opera radio have a baby. And trust me, this baby's got sass. Welcome to your ultimate destination for gripping, serialized stories that dive deep into the messy, passionate, and often scandalous realities of human relationships. You're tuned into WDRA YouTube Radio, where I, KC Saga aka DJ Sugar Bear, guide you through intricate plots bursting with love, honor, and devastating betrayal. From hidden affairs to shocking revelations, our daytime operas will keep you on the edge of your seat, just like the classics you grew up with. If you crave stories where trust is broken, loyalties are tested, and every twist leaves you wanting more, you found your new obsession. And speaking of twists, you ain't seen nothing yet. Get ready, because today we're kicking off something brand new, an extension of the drama you love. We're diving headfirst into our new series, Payback Anthology, the drama opera series. Each episode of Payback Anthology brings you a complete, standalone story, packed with all the high emotional drama you expect from the Drama Network. Get ready for tales where relationships hit the rocks, hidden schemes lurk beneath the surface, and let's just say, some folks get what's coming to them. It's intense, it's unpredictable, and it's all for you. Right after this, we plunge into the next installment of Payback Anthology. You're not going to want to miss a single second of today's story. It's the first episode in a three-part episode, The Sweet Surrender at Northridge.
Introducing the Archetypes of Deception. Our story's intricate web of deceit and desire is spun by four individuals, each carrying a hidden past that shapes their present. In the seemingly pristine facade of Meadowbrook Estates, their carefully constructed lives are on a collision course, driven by ambition, manipulation, and the ghosts of who they once were. Wilham Stonebridge V, the architect of righteousness. Wilham Stonebridge hails from the rarefied air of Boston, Massachusetts, born into a lineage of upper-class old money. His upbringing was a tapestry woven with privilege, tradition, and an unshakable adherence to conservative values. Educated not just in the rigorous disciplines of engineering, but also deeply steeped in theology and the intricacies of the real world as seen through a traditional lens, Wilham is a man of formidable intellect. He holds both a master's and a doctoral degree in mechanical engineering, a testament to what he believes is his genius-level intelligence. His parents, keen to reinforce both his academic prowess and his moral compass, sent him to St. Jude's Hall University, a place Wilham considered designed to simultaneously hone his engineering mind and fortify his faith. Wilham, always straight-laced and never in trouble, embraced this dual education wholeheartedly. He thought of himself as a man of unwavering principles, his life a meticulously constructed edifice of order, faith, and ambition. He believed in the clear lines of right and wrong, and in the sanctity of traditional marriage, a foundation upon which he sought to build his perfect suburban life. Heidy Petrova, the phoenix from the ashes. Heidy Petrova stands in stark contrast to Wilham's gilded upbringing. Her roots are firmly planted in the mean streets of Baltimore, where she was raised by a poor, white single mom in a trailer park. Her early life was marked by challenging circumstances and a struggle with addiction, leading her down a difficult path. Survival taught Heidy resourcefulness, often requiring her to navigate life's complexities on her own terms. By her early teens, she faced significant adversity, including personal struggles that left her vulnerable. Salvation, or at least a semblance of it, arrived when she turned 15. Her grandma and grandpa, strong, religious individuals, finally won a grueling court battle for her custody. Recognizing the perilous path she was on, her grandmother made a drastic sacrifice, mortgaging her house to send Heidy to get cleaned up. This led to a period of intense rehabilitation, followed by an education at a good all-girls high school. By the time she turned 19, her determined grandmother secured her a place at St. Jude's Hall University, a desperate gamble for a fresh start. Without her grandmother's constant presence, Heidy still felt the pull of a more dangerous lifestyle and past influences. Heidy, however, was cunning. She came to believe that marrying someone stable was her only path to a better future. She set her sights on Wilham, Her best friend, Joanna Purcells, wise to Heidi's past and her pragmatic survival instincts, gave her blunt advice. "If you're serious about marrying him," Joanna said, "then you've got to stay out of the streets. And you've been to religious school, so play along with what he wants." Heidy took this counsel to heart. She managed to hide her past life with remarkable skill, weaving a convincing facade of reformed innocence. They married before they even graduated college, a testament to her calculated charm. 7 years later, they bought their house in the Estates, the crowning achievement of her meticulously crafted deception. Leroy Miller, the charismatic shadow. Leroy Miller is a man who carved his empire from the raw, unforgiving landscape of Detroit. His wealth wasn't inherited. It was meticulously accumulated on the very streets of Detroit through means that were often on the fringes of the law. Leroy is a survivor, a strategist, and a natural leader in the city's illicit networks. He is entirely self-taught, but an absolute expert with a switchblade. His precision and ruthlessness earned him a fearsome reputation, and on the streets, he was known simply as Blade. Despite his violent past, Leroy possesses a smooth, charismatic charm that allows him to navigate both the shadows and the superficial gleam of affluent society with unnerving ease. He thinks of himself as a predator, now operating in a different kind of jungle. Thelma Henson, the puppeteer's masterpiece. Thelma Henson, also from Detroit, is Leroy's perfect counterpart. She is not merely intelligent. She is a naturally gifted manipulator, a master of psychological games. People rumored that if you met her by the time the introduction was over, she already had the manipulation set, already pulling strings you didn't even know existed. Thelma is a very, very high IQ person, her mind a labyrinth of schemes and calculated moves. Thelma Henson, a master manipulator, found her ideal partner in a man with a raw edge, someone she could influence to achieve her complex goals. In Leroy Blade, she found her ideal partner, a man capable of executing her intricate designs, a weapon perfectly honed to her will. She believes that together, they are a formidable, dangerous force, now seeking new arenas for their dark talents in the unsuspecting suburbs. While no one would ever have the nerve to call Blade anything less than an alpha dog, Thelma was the mayor to his police chief, a distinction only she truly understood. Chapter 1. The Little Red Welcome Wagon. The manicured lawns of Meadowbrook Estates stretched out under the relentless July sun. Each house, a testament to success, stood proudly on its perfectly symmetrical lot, a symbol of the American dream achieved. For Wilham and Heidy, their new two-story colonial at 14, Oakwood Lane was more than just a house. It was a carefully constructed facade. Inside, the air conditioning hummed, a stark contrast to the sweltering heat outside. Heidy, a slender woman with perfectly styled blonde hair, moved through the pristine living room, adjusting a throw pillow for the 10th time. The room, decorated in muted tones and tasteful, if somewhat generic, furniture, reflected Wilham's conservative sensibilities. It was a far cry from the vibrant, chaotic apartments she'd inhabited before meeting him. 7 years. 7 years she'd traded her sensible cardigans for leopard print dresses, her quiet evenings at home for late-night dance parties, her occasional glass of Chardonnay for tequila shots. 7 years she'd curved her ways, as Wilham put it, to fit into his world. A world of church on Sundays, potlucks with the neighbors, and early bedtimes. She glanced at her reflection in the polished mahogany mirror. The woman staring back was elegant, poised, and utterly bored. A glimpse of her former unrestrained self, long suppressed, briefly flickered in her eyes, a hint of defiance against her polished exterior. It burned for a split second, a yearning for chaos, for something untamed. It was quickly extinguished, replaced by a practiced smile, as she heard the distant hum of Wilham's car pulling out of the driveway, off to work for the day. Heidy was alone. The doorbell chimed precisely at 3. Heidy, with a final nervous pat to her hair, opened the door to reveal Leroy and Thelma Miller, a strikingly charismatic black couple. Leroy, with his easy smile and impeccably tailored polo shirt, exuded a confident charm. Thelma, sleek and stylish in a flowing sundress, possessed an unervingly perceptive gaze. They carried a beautiful ornate box of chocolate-covered strawberries and a chilled bottle of high-end champagne. A handwritten note, elegant and looping, was tucked into the ribbon, clearly visible. A warm welcome to Meadowbrook Estates. Delivered personally. Today's date, 3 p.m. Wishing you both much happiness in your new home. Leroy and Thelma Miller. Thelma said, "Heidi, so wonderful to finally meet you properly. Welcome to Meadowbrook Estates. We brought a little something to help you settle in." Heidi replied, "Leroy, Thelma, it's a pleasure. Please come in. Wilham's at work, but I'm sure he'll be thrilled to meet you properly this evening." Thelma stated, "Now, this is just for you and Wilham. A personal welcome. It's not to be shared, darling. Just for the two of you." Heidi responded, "Oh, how thoughtful. Thank you so much." She walked to the kitchen, carefully placing the champagne and strawberries in the fridge for later. When Wilham came home, Thelma settled onto the sofa, her gaze fixed on Heidi with an unsettling intensity. Thelma purred, "This is lovely, Heidi. So controlled. I remember when I used to live like that. All neat and tidy, like a little box." She leaned in conspiratorially, her voice dropping to a low, intimate tone. Thelma spoke of her own journey to freedom, hinting at a liberated approach to relationships, especially concerning her husband, Leroy. Thelma continued, "Why restrict such a magnificent creature? I encourage him to have fun, to explore, to enjoy life without conventional boundaries. It's surprisingly liberating, for everyone involved." Heidi felt a strange mix of discomfort and a forbidden spark of curiosity. A small voice in her mind, long silenced, whispered a dangerous "what if?" This was so far beyond anything Wilham would ever even consider. Before she could formulate a response, Thelma's gaze dropped, lingering on Heidi's hips. Thelma remarked, "I have to watch Leroy around you, Heidi. We have very similar hips, darling, and he has a particular appreciation for a woman with your figure. Leroy, honey, come see Heidi's figure. I swear we've got the same build." Thelma urged, "Oh, really? Don't just stand there, Heidi. Stand up and display your figure." Heidi stood, her heart thrumming. Thelma's eyes were fixed on her, expectant, playful, yet with an edge of command. Leroy leaned against the archway, his gaze assessing. The air crackled with a tension Heidi hadn't felt in years, a volatile mix of embarrassment and an undeniable, almost intoxicating, thrill. But before she could make a decision, before her internal battle could declare a winner, Leroy smoothly interjected. Leroy asked, "Hey, where's the little boy's room? Long drive if you catch my drift." Heidi told him, "First door on the left." Leroy nodded, flashing a quick, almost imperceptible smirk at Heidi before heading off. Thelma's gaze, however, remained on Heidi, a silent question in her eyes that promised the conversation would continue. Heidi felt a bead of sweat trickle down her spine. Thelma began, "So the party." Thelma deftly pivoted the conversation, though her eyes still twinkled with amusement over the previous exchange. Thelma continued, "We're thinking next Saturday night. Nothing too formal, just good fun and great company. We really need you there, Heidi, because we have special, secret plans for you and Leroy." A devious smile played on her lips, a glint in her eyes that sent a shiver down Heidi's spine. Just then, the insistent chirping of her cell phone echoed from her bedroom. It was a jarring sound, a stark reminder of her other life. She walked quickly towards the sound, grateful for the excuse to escape the living room, and for a moment, the intensity of Thelma's gaze. As she passed the bathroom, Heidi caught an unexpected glimpse through the open to a male figurine silhouetted in the light. She quickly averted her eyes, her cheeks burning from the surprising sight. Heidi said into the phone, "Hello." Wilham asked from the phone, "Hey, honey, just checking in. What are you doing? Sounds like you have company. Have you heard from the neighbors that said they were going to drop by?" Heidi's mind raced. Leroy and Thelma's muffled voices drifted from the living room. Her heart hammered, not just from fear of exposure, but from the intoxicating rush of the deception. Her gaze flickered to her reflection in the dresser mirror, her eyes bright, her cheeks flushed. Her mind raced, replaying the daring challenge to display herself and the unsettling, yet strangely captivating image she'd just witnessed. The thrill of this forbidden excitement was strangely intoxicating. Heidy chirped, forcing an overly enthusiastic tone. "Oh, Wilham. Yes, everything's great. Just finishing up here. The house is really starting to feel like home." She laughed, a little too brightly. Heidy added, "And no, actually. The Millers haven't been by yet. I think they mentioned they might swing by later this evening, after you're home from work. You know, to welcome both of us." The lie felt surprisingly easy, almost exhilarating. Wilham replied from the phone, "Perfect. Well, I'll be home around 6. Just finishing up here. Love you, honey." Heidy said into the phone, "Love you too, Wilham." She hung up, a strange mix of triumph and unease swirling within her. The lie was out. The bridge was burning. And a part of her, the old party animal, was secretly delighted by the warmth of the flames. She felt a sudden thirst, a dry catch in her throat. Leaving her phone on the nightstand, she walked back to the kitchen to get some more wine for herself and the guests. As she reached for the bottle, Leroy appeared beside her, a playful glint in his eye. Leroy asked, "Need a hand with that?" "Oh, and did you see it?" Heidy, stiffening, merely grabbed the bottle, her silence a subtle confirmation. Leroy chuckled a low, satisfied sound and moved away, leaving Heidy to contend with the unsettling memory. There was no more conversation about that. They talked for another 10 minutes, a casual surface conversation about neighborhood amenities and local clubs, all while an unspoken current of shared secrets hummed beneath. Finally, Thelma rose from the sofa, smoothing her dress. Thelma stated, "Well, we must be going. Now we must see you at the party, Heidy. Remember to play along, and you will achieve your desires. Mama always said you have to let a peacock show his colors, or it will feel like a caged bird." With a final lingering look and a shared, conspiratorial smile, Leroy and Thelma turned and walked out, their laughter echoing softly as they drove off into the setting sun. Later that evening, over a quiet dinner, Heidy discussed the day with Wilham. She recounted the mundane details of settling in, the pleasantries with other new neighbors, and mentioned that she'd even gotten a call from the father of the local church to remind them of service for the weekend. She carefully omitted any mention of Leroy and Thelma's visit. After dinner, Wilham retrieved the champagne and the chocolate-covered strawberries from the fridge. "This was really thoughtful of the Millers," he said, popping the cork with a satisfying hiss. As he opened the box of berries, he noticed the small, elegant handwritten note tucked beneath the ribbon. He pulled it out, reading it aloud, then paused, his brow furrowing. Wilham read aloud from the note, "A warm welcome to Meadowbrook Estates. Delivered personally. Today's date, 3 p.m. Wishing you both much happiness in your new home. Leroy and Thelma Miller." He looked at Heidy, a subtle shift in his gaze. Wilham said, "The note says they delivered these at 3 p.m., but you told me earlier they hadn't come by yet." Heidi's eyes widened slightly. She responded quickly, "Oh yes, they did stop by. They dropped off the chocolates and champagne, but they didn't stay since you weren't home. They just left the note and went on their way." Wilham pulled out his cell phone, checking the call log. His brow furrowed deeper. He distinctly remembered hearing what sounded like other voices in the background when he called Heidy at 3:15 p.m. He thought to himself, "I called 15 minutes after they got here, and I heard voices, so they were in the house. What is she hiding?" They ate the rich, sweet strawberries and sipped the effervescent champagne. They both experienced an unusual warmth and a powerful, inexplicable surge of desire, which they attributed to the excitement of their new house, the champagne, and the decadent berries. They laughed, attributing their intense feelings to the exciting new chapter in their lives. They woke the next morning disoriented on a bearskin rug in front of the unlit fireplace, feeling a massive, throbbing headache. "Oh my God, my head hurts," Wilham said. "This must be what it feels like to get roofied."
All right, my Drama Network fam. That was Payback Anthology, the drama opera series for today. And man, if that didn't just leave you hanging on every word, I don't know what will. So, what is Payback Anthology, you ask? Well, it's our brand new series right here on WDRA YouTube Radio. where we bring you a fresh, complete story in every single episode. Think of it like a punchy, emotional roller coaster where, yeah, things get messy in relationships, hidden plots are brewing, and ultimately, someone is going to get served a dish best eaten cold. Every story stands alone, but they all share that signature drama network heat. If you were feeling that, if you were on the edge of your seat, then you know what to do. Don't be a stranger. Like this video, share it with your whole crew, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss a single drop of drama. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're always in the loop for the next drama drop. And trust me, you know you got opinions, so drop them in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about today's episode, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. This is your boy, DJ Sugar Bear, signing off from WDRA YouTube Radio. Stay tuned, stay dramatic, and I'll catch you next time for more Payback Anthology on the Drama Network. Peace.